fast. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Level 25, Boris, Master of the Pit.
Boris of the pit.
Oh, I don't know if I can take him. Oh, I'm having trouble.
We can. He's more than halfway.
Having trouble keeping up the health.
Good job. Yes.
We are now of the pit.
Good job.
Grim Dawn is set in the war-torn world of Can, where what's left of the human race are caught in a conflict between two otherworldly entities.
After messing with the power of portals, you become possessed.
What are you? Others of your kind name us ethereal.
But once the ethereal being is driven from your body, you discover you hold the key to interdimensional travel.
So you set out to tame this demon-filled world,
Oh, zombies in the ground.
trying as best you can to create a foothold for the rapidly dwindling human race.
Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear my swarm.
Well, first of all, this game looks pretty great, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that cartoony Blizzard style of click RPG, but there's something dark and gritty about this that's just so wonderful. I love how corrupted and gross everything is, especially all the maggots and worms.
Oh, it does dots. I got swarm dots. Oh, eat the dots.
Yeah, I prefer this art style personally. It's more subtle, but just gorgeous.
Look at the leaves floating down from the trees. Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
When you begin this game, your only choices are between a male or female human. You don't actually choose your class until you've been playing for a while and killed a few nasties.
Yeah, and this threw me at first, but then I suppose it is kind of nice to get a feel for the world and the kinds of enemies you'll be fighting before you commit to the way in which you'll be fighting them.
I went with the shaman, but with a focus on two-handed weapons. And I just love that chain lightning hex, the way it just pops everyone around the screen. Glorious.
I rolled Arcanist because for me, when it comes to these games, I am 100% visual satisfaction.
Do you want some meteors?
I want cool spells and lots of colors and things raining down out of the sky. And this gave me that, which made me happy.
It's quite a complicated skill system though, isn't it?
Yeah, but once you spend a bit of time with it, you'll realize just how much it allows you to personalize your character.
Damn you.
Playing a magic user, I could afford to be quite squishy. I use a ranged weapon and have some decent AoE spells in case enemies get too close.
Oh, he is the tough guy.
But then I always just end up getting impatient and I get right into the action anyway.
Buggy.
That skill's not right.
So I appreciated being able to really tailor my character to my reckless playstyle.
I found the ability tree so interesting. It has this bar down the bottom which you need to fill to unlock the abilities along the horizontal plane. But you do this with the same points you spend on the abilities themselves. So you have a choice to keep those early abilities, put lots of points into them and make them really powerful, or fill out that bottom bar and spread everything out and have a wider range of spells and abilities.
Yes, but naturally the more powerful the ability, the more energy it'll take to use it.
That skill's not ready.
There's trade-offs everywhere, but it's beautifully balanced. I just love this system. It adds such a wonderful stress to level up moments.
Added to that is an additional constellation map which offers even more combinations of stat boosts depending on which ones you choose. But Hex, even at level 20, I wasn't quite sure on how all of that works.
Yeah, me either.
I still don't understand why all these other things are locked.
It looks like you can fill out the bottom one in some of them. They don't necessarily need to be connected, maybe? Or do they need to be connected?
And to complicate things even further, you eventually unlock the ability to start putting points into a second class tree. Ugh. I mean, that really stressed me out.
Oh yeah, it's totally stressful, especially as that second class has its own horizontal bar as well, and that can't be respec'd. I just worry, Hex, that I'm not putting all my points in the right places.
Oh, the anxiety is real.
Oh, absolutely. And I just love all this stat stuff, though. I love going back and respecking all these points and moving stuff around and trying things out. It's got to be right.
Yeah, plus for people like me who can't decide if they want to play from a distance or get up close, it does offer a wonderfully customized way to play. Then again, you can just ignore it if you want. Well, let's talk about the monsters, because there were a lot of them, everywhere, all the time.
Okay, well, have a this way. Hello! Oh, hello! I love how they lull you into a false sense of security with the little baby ones.
Yeah, these games thrive on a healthy serving of monsters and loot, and Grim Dawn dishes up generously. There are so many enemies on screen at once, it's chaos.
Ghost party over here. I can't even see myself. What is going on?
And they made such good use of the maps as well. It's really dense, but it never feels grindy.
Yeah, I mean, you are mowing through enemies, but that screen clearing action is part of what makes these games so addictive, I think.
sure which one is accurate.
Well, that and the loot.
It delivers well on the loot, doesn't it?
Oh, the loot!
And he's dead. Do you use axes perchance?
I do
I have a
anything
serious-
two-handed.
Yeah, I have a serious two-handed
Yeah,
axe.
chuck it on.
I have my first blue item. It's a Stormcaller circlet, and it's beautiful.
Excellent. I've got blue shoes.
Yes, but I almost wish it didn't because then you wouldn't spend so much time stuffing around in your inventory.
We head up north.
Gotta see if I should...
Roger.
Oh,
Get out of your inventory.
I'm not sure if I
This
want to
way.
wear these gloves or...
way.
Oh, I can equip some new spolders, Hex! Oh, look at my fire!
No.
Look at my fire spolders! Oh.
I don't care. I've left. I've gone.
Come look at them!
I'm leaving
Come
without
look
you.
At the fire spolders!
I'm in crumbling one. There's skellies. I'm
Have a
fighting
good time.
them.
I'm gonna just admire.
Just saving the world on my own.
Let's get some stuff on them. Oh.
Inventory management is serious business, Hex.
Places to go, monsters to kill. Come on. There are plenty of winding caves and dungeons too. Mystery doors, no idea what's on the other side.
Hanafi mine. Do you want to do it?
Yes.
And I just love that occasional troll where you're suddenly thrown into a pit of enemies without warning.
The questing is done well too. You actually have to listen and read where to go.
This key'll open the cellar in the shack behind me, right by that accursed rift gate.
I love that it just gives you the general area, but not the exact location. So that encourages exploration and the massacre that follows.
Yeah, it is quite easy to begin with though, isn't it? You'll plow through the first few levels so that you don't spend too much time without cool abilities to use, which is good. But then I don't think either of us died until like level 17 or something.
Yeah, and that's a bit crazy. I think they're just trying to ease you in, you know, so you can figure everything out and not worry too much about having to get back to your corpse and get that XP that you lost when you died. But still, it's just way too easy in the early game.
Yeah, thankfully it does ramp up as things progress. I found once I mended that bridge to the left side of the map, I was suddenly in a world of pain.
There's just so much to explore in this world. I love just going out there and wandering. It is very easy to get sidetracked and lost though, and this is largely due to the clever way they've designed the world, with roads being blocked and paths funneling you off in different directions.
Paths that always guide you to more monsters.
I love the little choice consequence moments with NPCs.
Oh, hey buddy.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't do the talking though, why does every NPC interaction always end in murder with you?
I killed him.
What did you
Well, we had a choice
do?
consequence, and he sounded
No.
evil. So I took care of business.
What do you mean he sounded
He was
evil?
in a prison, and I didn't read it all, but I felt I didn't have a good vibe about him.
I'm pretty sure they were bad guys.
No, if you'd let me have the conversation, we would have all just hugged it out at the end. You are the actual worst.
I've been trying to play this pretty straight, as per usual.
Well, maybe
and if people are going to think I'm a merciless killer,
maybe he deserved it. Maybe that's the message you want to send.
what do you mean maybe?
I didn't read the quiz.
Moving through the map, I found the pathfinding to be quite good, but the environment transparency wasn't always great. I mean, that's something that other games in this genre have really excelled at, but here I often found my vision was obscured.
You just gotta move the camera.
I don't want to deal with camera angles in a game like this. You shouldn't have to touch it.
Oh, it's so hard. You just gotta press one button to move the camera. It's so easy. I must say, it is a lot easier and more natural when you've got a controller plugged in, moving the camera with the right stick, but the controller support was only about 80% there, which was disappointing.
No one cares about controller support.
I'm a total controller
No one.
convert. I am a total convert now for these kinds of games. After Diablo 3 on console, amazing. I think there's a lot of people out there who love controllers for
It's
these
you
kinds of
and a
games.
population of like 3 other people. Maybe 4.
Get on board. I enjoyed playing this on my own as much as I did playing in co-op, and it does actually support 4-player co-op, which is great. Although I did find some of the quests seemed to only work in single player and some worked in co-op well, and it just wasn't clear enough, and that found like a bug to me. Also, we did have an issue with lag whenever I turned up the amount of bodies that would appear on screen and stay there, and that was strange too, but most of the time it was lag-free. But yeah, we had a great time smashing monsters together.
Yeah, it taps into all those wonderful vices we have when it comes to these kinds of games. It's detailed, it's complicated, and yet somehow I feel like it has the ability to remain accessible because it's got such a slow difficulty curve. And you don't have to make your character that complex if you don't want to.
I do think people who are new to this kind of game will struggle with that tech tree though. This is one for established fans of the genre.
Look at these pants!
Oh, poison.
But I was so impressed with Grim Dawn Hex. The freedom you have to explore and discover the mechanics of the game. You couldn't ask for a better debut from a new dev studio, so I'm giving it 4 stars.
Yeah, I agree. I'm giving it 4 stars as well.
Yeah, no.
So I have a feeling this cave
Right word, but...
is going to be very bee heavy.
Yeah, I feel like it could be a hornet's nest, as it were. Oh!
I like the ground. It's very alien. Bees! You were right. Be careful. Be careful. Your pun was better.